Okay, this is Rabbi Shlomo Furst here at Yeshiva Tsama, our second shiur for the day. We're learning Berura, getting ready for Pesach now. Again, so you shouldn't forget, I'll repeat it one more time. Yeshiva Tsama is located not too far from the central bus station here in Yerushalyim, near HaKodesh, on Rekom 6, in the Bate Knesset building of Hanahi Yeshivas. And yeah, we're in tough iron base, and we were continuing on with Sif Aleph. Let's just do a repetition of that. Sif Aleph in the Mechaber, and we'll see where we'll pick up the Mishna. Yisrael, you like to read for us a bit?
Yes.
Sif Aleph, tough iron base.
His table should be arranged when it's still day.
Right, you want to have the table all set, ready to go before Erev and set it on Erev Pesach, so it's all ready to go on the night of Pesach. Why?
Or they can eat it right away when it gets dark.
Right, and this is the Mishna we learned yesterday. It doesn't mean to start eating. You don't start eating, you have to make Kiddush. So you want to start making Kiddush as early as possible. So you're not supposed to be mocked in Kiddush like you normally could possibly do for another Yom Kippur on Shabbos. Yeah.
Okay.
Proceed to make it early. Yes.
Just real quick, how come there's an aleph that begins, there's a big aleph in brackets, and then there's a little aleph in brackets? What do those three olives mean?
Okay, this one is the paragraph.
Okay.
The one in bracket is the Mishna.
Okay.
And the regular aleph is here, sometimes here, and this is a Rashi letter.
Yeah.
So here, it tells you where it's
Okay, so it's a footnote. It's telling you where to go look. Okay, thank you.
Then you have one, a small one here, and this one tells you where you're going to find it in the Shulchan.
Okay. So it's a reference.
Two of them are references, and one of them sends you to the bottom, and if it's a Rashi letter, it tells you also the same.
Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you.
No problem.
I'd like you to know this.
And now,
that's right.
Even if it's in the base medrash, he should get up, right? If he's in the base medrash.
yes.
Mitzvah l'maheh l'oichel b'shir hatinokos. It's a mitzvah to hurry up and to eat because of the little children. Shaloi Mishna shouldn't fall asleep by the Seder.
Good.
So notice this means that he shouldn't put off starting the Seder because he's learning?
Right. So you should end his learning early in order to come home and start the Seder early enough that the children will still be awake and interested in what's being discussed at the Seder.
Avalo yom kiddush, ma'ashetech shach. You shouldn't say kiddush until it gets dark.
Right. Kiddush shall not be said until it actually gets dark. Okay. We did Aleph in the Mishna yesterday, so let's begin now with the Mishna and Sif Cut and base. The base of Medrash. Even a person in the base of Medrash, right? What does that mean?
Base medrash and the base medrash, Rotza Loima means to Isaac B'Lemidah is involved in his learning. Who adin Indian tefillah. The same halacha applies to the matter of davening. Tzorech l'zares atzmo b'kros b'shma. He needs to make him push himself. Zares means to make himself, hurry himself to read Kriyashma. L'sparel to daven l'lelech, take up l'beis and go immediately to his house.
All right. You want to start as early as possible. So therefore, you should daven and say Kriya Shema, and then go immediately to your home to start the.
You can't say Kriya Shema until it's dark, correct?
Right. You have to wait. You have to wait until minimal 18 minutes or so.
So therefore, it has to be delayed from the earliest you can start.
That's right. Okay. Sifkat and Gimel in the Mishna Berura.
So Gimel.
Right, it's a mitzvah l'ma'ir
to hurry himself to eat.
Right, that itself is a mitzvah. It's a chiddush. If you're medactic, if you're careful in the expression that the Mechaber used, mitzvah l'ma'ir la'oichel. It's a mitzvah to eat quickly, right?
May I ask, is there a way of we don't have these old-fashioned armchairs, you know?
Yeah.
So if you drink like this, is that considered hasiba, or do you have to be in a situation where it's you're sitting and like, you know, holding onto another chair or
Yeah.
something, or is hasiba just, you know, okay, I'm gonna drink like this, and that's hasiba?
What I do is this. Turn this one here like this, and you put a pillow there, and you do that. So there's no, so you can eat normally.
You can twist your chair around like that.
I put a pillow here.
But in the air is not considered.
Yeah, I'm not sure, because I don't think so, because what's the whole premise of Haseba? Haseba is what we call derech heres. It's the way of a free man, a person who is eating leisurely. In those times specifically, you eat on the by reclining. So if you're going to do it in a way that's funny, right? So that defeats the whole purpose. You're supposed to feel like a free man, like a rich person who has all the benefits. And yeah, I remember years ago they had a special tent. They had someone who they had like a post, a pillar, and you could lean against this pillow. They made special for it, but you could have a stand or something like that. So or like twisting the table along.
You should lean onto something, not air.
Yeah, I would think leaning in the air is not exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
The Mishna says that they would lean on the knee. They would sit on the floor and they lean on the knees of the person next to them.
Wow.
They didn't have chairs and tables.
Sit on the floor.
What?
They do sit on the
They're
floor.
Lebanese.
Algerian.
Algerians also?
On the floor, do they?
Yeah. If they got the
Why does it say
table,
lean
put
left
blacks,
then?
they sit on the
You
floor.
might be more comfortable leaning right.
No, it's a danger to
Digestive.
lean on the right. There's the windpipe and the windpipe and the esophagus and the vesicles, two pipes, one for air and one for the food. So we're going to see, the Mishna was going to explain, if you lean the opposite way, so the windpipe is like here. So normally there's a flap on top of the windpipe that's closed. When you're swallowing something, it closes so food shouldn't have to show or liquids go into your lungs, right? But if you lean the opposite way, so what happens is if you lean that way, so now the windpipe is above the food pipe, and that flap becomes open, and you're in trouble that you could possibly swallow, or the drink, the liquid of the wine will go into your lungs, and that would be a
Also, the Rambam says that it's good for digestion on the left-hand side.
okay.
Well, Shulchan Aruch says when you go to sleep, your kidneys are on the left. You sleep on the left to warm warm it up. The food
You
digests.
start off on the left side, and then you switch over to the right.
It helps food digest.
See,
Well,
Torah
Shulchan Aruch
teaches
says.
you how to sleep, it teaches you how to
Everything.
eat, it teaches you
Everything. How to tie your shoes.
Everything.
How to use the bathroom. It's like you don't have to think about anything. You just read. Pay attention.
I beg to differ.
I know, me too.
You think more about everything.
You also have.
Oh. What
Okay. So it's a mitzvah that you should quickly come to the situation in the Seder where you're going to come and be ready to eat. What does that mean? Ratzalom, you have that Yisrael there in Sifkat and Gimel? Everyone have Sifkat and Gimel in the Mishna Berura? Ratzalom, that means to
So I
say.
mean to say, the Zoris Lasos Seder should hurry up to make the Seder. Kadesh la yishnu hatinokas, that the kids should not fall asleep. Kasheyedu shlo yishta harbe, shouldn't drink a lot.
You should drink a
No,
lot.
you should shelo yishtah harbi. You should not delay.
delay.
Yishteh, you should not delay a lot.
Until eating.
Also,
Shlep the Haggadah.
right. So it's a mitzvah that you should be quick to do the Seder. I mean, say the Haggadah. Why? It doesn't mean you have to rush through the Haggadah, but you should do it and keep it at a good steady pace. You know, a nice business-like pace. Right? Don't get stuck along with too many details. Why? Kadesh lo yishanu atinokus, that the children shouldn't sleep. Why? Because kishiyadua shlo yishtei harbe. If they know that it's not going to take a lot of time, right, till they get to the eating, right, then memela automatically yishol, you're going to automatically ask,
Oh, Spanish Shana.
right, and yeshiv lehem, and then once they ask manishtana, you can answer them. And that's the whole point. You want the children to be able to ask, and then you want to be able to answer, because in your answer, is the fulfillment of the mitzvah, as it says, Masha Kosev, V'yikayim, and it fulfills, therefore,
Iskayim, Mashkas of Agatal, Levanecha B'Yamavoish. It says in the pasuk, you should show your sons on that day.
right, meaning by the son asking and the father answering, that is a fulfillment of the Torah's command, V'yigadata levincha b'yom you shall tell over to your son on that day. Meaning, the whole time that a person's saying this, the Haggadah, this is an answer to the son's question, right? So every word that you're saying is the fulfillment of the Ratzon, the will of HaKodesh Baruch Hu. You are becoming, through your answer to the child's question, you are becoming the will of HaKodesh Baruch Hu embodied. You are embodying the will of HaKodesh Baruch Hu. You can't be on a higher level than that. Okay? So therefore you want to get to the point where you can ask the Manishtan and you want to answer, so therefore the children will stay up. Because if they get dismayed about how long things are taking, they'll lose interest, they'll fall asleep, and then you lost your opportunity.
Don't forget the nuts and the toys.
We'll get to them. No, we're not going to
Oh,
forget
that's
nuts and the toys.
You
Right?
can't have nuts because the Kabbalah for nuts is sin.
That's only Rosh Hashanah.
Ah, so you could do. So you could do. I thought, how can they have the
Nuts, the goods.
No, nuts are, that's perfectly okay.
Except for peanuts.
Yeah, peanuts are legal, right? But
That's right, peanuts. I knew there was something.
Maybe, I'm not sure about pumpkin seeds, I know, maybe not. I don't know if pumpkin seeds are considered legumes or not.
They say a chazan shouldn't really have nuts apart from the sin.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
Because you
correct.
might.
You won't be able to daven properly,
yeah.
yeah. Creates a lot of, fun. True, very good. That's relevant to Rosh Hashanah and Kippur,
Not Pesach.
not Pesach. Especially relevant to Yom Kippur, because you can't drink, you can't do anything to
of course.
clear your throat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. Okay. Sivkat and Daled. Now you have to wait and do things quickly, but you can't go too fast because you have to wait until nightfall to say Kaddish, because you cannot say Kaddish before nightfall. Ratzallah, Sivkat and Gimel.
What's the light Tema shouldn't say Kemish mitzvah lemahez. It's a mitzvah to hurry up. Yaschir HaKodesh Haggadah l'ma'od yom. To make Kiddush and to say the Haggadah will install Erev Yom Tov. Kamoishim atzilu b'Shabbos b'Yom Tov. Like we found with Shabbos and Yom Tov sheyachal lahesiv mecha HaKodesh, to be able to add on from mecha onto Kodesh.
Meaning you can do that by Pesach as well. Meaning you want to take in Shabbos early, you want to take in Yom Tov early, you want to the Yom Tov for Pesach. You can also makabel yourself Yom Tov early, but Shabbos and another Yom Tov, except from Pesach, you can even make Kiddush early on. Let's say a Shkia is 6 o'clock, right? And you want to daven Ma'ariv at 5:30, and you want to come home and at 10 to 6, 10 minutes before Shkia, you want to make Kiddush. You can make Kiddush, right? You can start your sunnah even before Shkia.
This is from Shabbos to Yom Tov?
No, it's not any Shabbos, any Yom Tov.
Don't forget you have this.
No, Shabbos to Yom Tov, you
say
can't do that
Hanukkah.
because you have.
But don't you have the problem with Sukkot also to eat at night? There's no problem.
No, that's another thing. That's another thing about sukkahs. You can be makdim, but again, kiddush is another thing. Kiddush is another thing. If you want to take on kedushas Yom, there's such a thing as called Tosefes Shabbos, Tosefes Yom Kippur, Tosefes Yom Tov. Meaning, you're supposed to add on, right, from the weekday Friday to Shabbos. You're supposed to take off a little bit of the weekday Friday and add that on to Shabbos. And so instead of let's say if sunrise is 6 a.m. and sunset is 6 p.m. So the day is 12 hours, right? The day is 12 hours, right? Right. The whole full day is 24 hours, right? 24 straight hours, right? So really, technically speaking, Shabbos comes in at sun.
Maybe can we take full tomorrow? It's better run down the hill and get something.
Yeah, you're gonna come back later. How long will it be? Oh, so I'll tell you. Come back. I'll tell you. So
Okay,
let's say so.
Right.
If you have to go, you have to. We're finishing the shear in 5 minutes. You want to stay to the shear?
Just take your time to get down there and come back.
Whatever you want.
I did, sometimes I had to I'd go to an Ashkenaz shul in England. I used to do the Omed. And I didn't understand why I used to do like hoo. Apparently it's to elongate on Shabbat after evening. It's supposed to make it a bit longer. Like you just said,
Right.
so it's just a, I don't know what you call it.
No, so I'll explain. So if you want to take on Shabbos before it's actually technically sunset, you are permitted to do that. Right? You can do that on Pesach as well. However, if you want to make Kiddush, right? On Pesach you cannot make Kiddush while it's still not the time of dark yet, right? Because the time of darkness is when you have the mitzvah of Achilas Matzah, Achilas Morur, right? And we have
All the others have the same number.
Yeah.
Because Shavuos you have to wait for
Sure, you have to be short.
And Sukkot you have to make it into the night because it's the middle of the Sukkot.
Right. No, yeah.
Don't they all have the same
No,
number?
but
I'm
look,
asking
if you
you.
want to know, but if you want to daven my rib, I can daven my rib to plug him into. Any Ma'ariv I want, I can technically. Sometimes it's not so advisable. Sometimes it's difficult, but technically after plugging into, which is an hour and 15 minutes before the sunset, I can technically daven my rib.
Even for Shavuos and Sukkot and
Yeah,
Pesach?
so Sukkot is okay. Pesach is okay. Shavuos not. Shavuos says specifically because you want everyone tamimus.
So I can have an early minyan from Marv, come home, set up whatever, organize, talk to the kids until it's mine, and there's not a problem with that?
Technically speaking, it should be okay.
Wow.
Counting the Omer.
Live and learn.
So counting the Omer is different. You should not do that.
like that. That's all.
No, they're not.
No.
Everybody's from.
No, like that.
I say live and learn.
So therefore, Pesach is different because you have to have Kiddush, because Kiddush is one of the 4 cups. You have 4 cups of wine. First cup of the 4 cups is Kiddush. The second one is after you finish the first half of Challah. The third cup is Birkas HaMazon. And the fourth cup is when you finish your Challah. Right? You finish your Challah. Right? So this is the first of the 4 cups, which is a mitzvah. According to the Ashkenazi, each one of the cups is a separate mitzvah. According to the Sephardi, it's all one big mitzvah.
1 and 3.
1 and
1, 3.
1.
Because benching you have to.
Benches, right? Benches is a kibbut meyatz. Correct.
We're so different.
So therefore, your kiddush can't be said until it's the time to fulfill the mitzvah of eating matzah, and the eating of matzah can't be done until it's fully dark.
Okay.
Fully dark.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. We'll just finish up. Let's see what the Mishna says in again. Sivkat and Dalet. Okay, we'll do Sivkat and Dalet and perhaps hey, maybe. You take over? It's too small.
Take it.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. Sivkat and Dalet.
Rotza Lomar needs to say the lo tema keva shemitzvah lomar that it shouldn't. It's not strange that you have a mitzvah that you have to make it fast. Yad kol akidah bagad beyod yom that he's going to start the kiddush and nigada when it's till day. Kemoshe matzinu b'Shabbat v'yom tov that you found like in Shabbos and Yom Tov shiachol osim michol HaKodesh that you can add from wheat to Kodesh. Well, kaddish v'lech mojam still and make kiddush and eat while it's still day. The Chanal b'Simarosh Samech Zayin. Kamash Malon, don't gabe Pesach enough, but regardless, when it comes to Pesach, it's not so. The Fisha Achila Matzah Hukshel Pesach, because the eating of matzah is attached to the Pesach. Shenemar Al Matzah Sumrim Yafu, that you should eat it with matzahs and bitter herbs. Well, Pesach Eno Necha Ela Balad, and Pesach is only ate in the night. The Kiddush Sarach B'Yod B'Shar Real Matzah, and the Kiddush has to be at the time when it's good to eat matzah, the old and more. The kos shel kiddush ruach mirukos, and the kos and the cup of kiddush is one of the 4 cups. The chulu batar agada umatzah umar gerire, and all of it together is the agada, the matzah, and the mar is all part of the one mitzvah.
It's all one. It's all connected together.
Until it becomes dark. It should be after the after the stars come out and not sunset.
Okay, we'll stop here. We'll continue.